First, let me correct just one thing. After changing the height of this view, under the resident registration number, from 100 to 50, let's change the height of the toast. Text input to 100. This way, it can be set the same as the other text inputs. Next, as you can see in the center, this bar will be added. Let me create this bar once. Declare a view and set the style to 10%. For the view, then, add text inside it with a font size of 24 and a font weight of about 300. Next, if you take a look at the background, it looks like this, so I will give the direction as low and justify the content to the center to position it in the middle. It has been perfectly centered. Next, in this second text input, the style has a width of 45%. But we will create this style as an array and set the width to 8% for processing. As you can see here, since this bottom bar is the only one available, and we only need to input one, it doesn't seem necessary to do everything. So we will do it this way. For accurate calculation, this part is 45%, and the next part is also 45%, leaving the remaining 10%. Now, if you look at the picture like this, you can see that there are a total of 7 items in the back: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Since almost 45% is filled by these 7 items, dividing 45 by 7 gives about 6.4. However, the size of these 7 items, or more precisely, the ratio of the underscore that includes these 7, is slightly larger compared to the individual circles. So I will appropriately set it to 8%. By giving it 8%, it inputs well, and since it starts from here, I feel like I want to center it. But I will proceed with this consideration. So if you subtract 8 from 45, 37% remains. To summarize, the structure consists of a text input within this entire view, followed by another view, and then another text input. Please delete this part. It seems I wrote it incorrectly. If you look now, there is one text input, one view, and a single text input in this entire view. Next, I created one more text input. First, I set to state input half and gave 0 to this BLDR bottom color. To remove the bottom, you can also remove it by giving 0 to BLDR bottom width. In the same way, if you give 1 here, in the same way, this underscore will appear. So give 0 first, and then put 37% for miss here. Then, even if you give 1, this much will combine to make 45%. Next, we need to remove the placeholder. And since this value should neither be selected nor changeable, if we set add table to false, it will not be clickable or changeable like that. If we provide a total of 6 items to the value and set this text entry to true, it will currently show 0 out of 6, and this will be hidden. Let's also remove the max length. If we set editable to false, in this state, even if you click, it behaves like a view rather than a text input. So in the photo, these circles are a bit larger compared to this, which is a bit disappointing. But I will proceed with this level. To explore further, it seems that using icons or images could make it more similar to the photo. I will stop here, and I can see something that has been made somewhat similar at a glance. Next, I'm going to change the bottom color a bit. As you can see, when the current structure is focused, the state value for the bold bottom color changes, and then, once the editing is finished, it changes back to light gray. So the state value corresponds to that. The problem right now is that if this is different, only this part should turn blue. But the rest also turns blue, which is an issue. One initial thought is to set this to 1 2 3 4 5 4. And if you look here, the last part of the resident registration number is red, not blue, so let's keep the first part as 2, excluding view of. And I will also use 3 here. writing it in red. Next, I will write the half part as 2. So, in this way, it should work well. And the problem is that this part should be blue. This part should be red. And when this part works, only this section should work. But the issue is that this part is not working right now. So in this case, after we do that, let's write folder bottom column as folder bottom column 3.5 here. Then it will work well. The easiest solution is to declare the state as many times as needed to solve the problem. Let's do it this way for now, and refactor it later. If you look at the order, first is the phone name, then the resident registration number, and then the phone number. So let's copy this to make 3. And then let's create the name once. You will see that we change 1 to name here. And update it. And let's change this to set name. Next, let's make this one number 4. And also create it as an array. So let's set it to 4. Next, let's create this one below as number 3. Let's also change the mobile phone number to the name. It works well. Next time, I will create a selection for the carrier so that we can try choosing a carrier.